This is a 2007 first of the VE shape Commodores. Doing a timing chain replacement, so hopefully this will a few tips or tricks or whatever to give you a bit of an idea of if you're giving this a go at home, what you would do to go about it. It's pretty easy to get to this point. I suppose one of the only pain in the butts really was the, well, not pain in the butt, but aircon. It's got 2 bolts on the side. Hop underneath the car, look up from underneath, and there's one at the back. Undo that to come, and that'll let that drop down to the side. And then that aircon bracket, there is, yeah, it's like I think one from the front, one from the side, and there's actually 2, so there's 4 bolts on that one in total. 2, they're all 15mm heads, so yeah, just look for the 15mm head ones, and then that gets that off, and then yeah, your 30mm on the front cover. Yeah, there's other good videos, but yeah, that's pretty much, you'll find videos on how to do everything else. So I pulled all the plugs out so it turns over freely. However, I left plug in number 1 just so that it helps you to know when you're on TDC. So you might be able to hear that, but you can kind of feel there's a bit of pressure there now. That means it's coming up onto number 1 compression, number 1 TDC. So not too sure, you might want to find, so where I've made a white dot there is a dimple on that crank pulley, so you can even find that first and put a white mark there as a reference. And then on there you've got where it says in, there's a little R there, and then there's an R on this side as well. So those are going to be your 2 top marks. Let's just get that around a bit more. So I'm pretty sure that's, just at a guess, that's TDC. So you've got your dot on your mark there, and on this side you've got L on that little, zoom right in, that little L right there in front of the dot. And you see there's a little dimple on the gear there, and then there's an L on the side of this one, right there. So a little L in the gap there, I put a dot there. So you're looking for the L, you're looking for the R on the right hand side, just above the in there's an R there, and then there's an R just above the X there. You can vaguely see it, but I put a white dot there anyways. So you've roughly got the cams where they need to be. Now you need to lock them. So you go over to your spare nuts and bolts, and you want to get something like this. Alright, so trying to show you how this works. Basically it's a bolt, the nut, and you want the washers and stuff just to locate within the gears there, so you can have it a little bit loose, so it just slides in. Okay, once it's sitting in place, you can just a little bit finger tight, and that there, no matter which way those cams roll, it's going to stay still. So you do that, and then do the same for this side, and once you've got that set there, then you know that everything's going to stay still. Make sure you got your marks. Twig pen's your best friend when you're a mechanic. Been using it for years, so yeah, go through twig pen, everything, just as a reference point, make notes, take a video, take photos, your phone, whatever. So you can lock the cam what you do next is, as you assemble it, so you'll then remove, once it's locked on this side, that side, remove your tensioner, take the tensioner off, stick it on the bench, remove the guide, put it on the bench, remove the other guide, put it on the bench. So you want to lay out what you've removed off the car. So then you're going to go to your kit, in your box kit, and you're going to hunt for everything you need, and then just lay it with what you've removed, so you know that the right stuff is ready to go, or you can lay it in order next to it. When you're doing the tensioners, these bolts here and the little gap there, there's these little rubber washers or sleeves that sit on the bolt here. Okay, pull these out and make sure you put them on the new bolts that go into the new tensioners, because they don't come with one of the kits. So yeah, don't forget that. Each tensioner has its own gasket, little gasket, so make sure the right gasket goes to the right tensioner. Yeah, once you've removed this chain, pieces are on the bench, then you can remove the tension on the bottom chain, then remove the guides, then remove that chain, put it on the bench, find what you need for that one, then come back, remove this tensioner, guides, and the chain on that one. Okay, so again, with these tension bolts, make sure you remove the little rubber sleeves or O-ring washers, whatever you want to call them. Pull them off the old tensioners, make sure they go back in on these bolts. And so once you've pretty much removed everything, it's just reverse of that. So the new chain will have the new colors on them. So what you do is you will locate those colors on your dots you made with your L on this side and L on this side. So that pink mark would have lined up with those two. So yeah, line those ones up, feed it down here. Now it's not lining up now, but there's the hole, and so that would generally be wherever that is anyways. Get the yellow mark on the new chain so that you can see it in the hole. Then put this guide in on this side and double check that everything's marked up, and slide this guide in here, slide that guide in, and then locate your tensioner carefully. I might need someone to hold this one while we do that one. That one was a little bit more trickier by yourself, so yeah, if you've got someone around, or maybe put a cable tie from there to there in the meantime, just to hold it together and just to keep that hole in line with the yellow mark there on that one. So once that's done, you then get the chain with these three little marks. There's little arrows on these gears here, little arrows that point out on there. I'll see. So I've marked the dot there, and on the crank. So the little orange marks line up on each of those. Now I placed it on, put the orange mark onto this gear here, lined it up on the crank. That was cool. And when I came around to this side, it wasn't in the right position. So you have to spin this gear so that the arrow and your white dot line up on the new orange part. Okay, so relocate that. Once you've relocated that, then you can start installing your guides. So just put that one in, and then your tensioner last. So at this stage you should have the mark on the crank pulley, the arrow mark there, lining up with the orange, as well as through that hole you'll see the yellow, and then the pink will be on your top marks. So everything's good so far. Then coming around to this side, everything's all tight. Chuck your pink marks on top there. Bring it down, and then there's a hole on this side. There's a hole. You can't see it here, but you'll notice a hole, kind of like how this one has the hole and the yellow on the inside. It'll be the yellow on the outside with lining up with the hole in the back of this gear. So you'll see where that is. And then you've got your pinks lines up, come down here, and you want to see where that is. Now, I needed to rotate. I need to rotate the crank a little bit in order to get that to line up on my one. So you may have to do the same. May have to roll the crank forward or back just to get it right. And then, yeah, you've got that lining up. Then you can put your guide in, tensioner, and then, yeah, that should be, everything's all timed up. So you pull your pins, check your tensioners, just press on them, make sure they bounce back. Okay, these are a bit hard now because I've been winding it over and it's got oil pressure. But yeah, so just push on the tensioners, make sure they spring back. That's how you check those, make sure they're good. They don't spring back, then got a problem. Then you can remove your little cam locking tool. Alright, remove that special tool. And then you can carefully wind everything over. You can pull number one sparkler out if you want. I just leave it in there for a bit of a reference. Yeah, so crank it all over. Just be mindful that when you crank things over, it's going to build up oil pressure. Oil's going to start leaking out and pissing all over the floor. I know because I just did that. Yeah, and get ready to clean everything up and put it together. So, and then obviously the last test, just to wind it over, make sure everything feels normal and no funny sounds.